Hi there, Julie with Balanced Life with Julie, certified health coach and nutritionist. In today's video, what I want to talk to you about is glyphosate. Have you heard about glyphosate? Do you know what it does in your body? Do you know that you might be ingesting it every single day with every single meal? So, glyphosate is a water-soluble toxin that can be found in the product Roundup. And Roundup was created by Monsanto, which is a huge company that creates all kinds of agrochemicals to be used in farming. And Monsanto created Roundup in the 70s, so it's been on the market for a while. And what we've seen in the last few decades, have been sort of the results of what using glyphosate means in the human body. So along with the crops that Monsanto created, the GMO crops that Monsanto created, what Roundup does is it gets sprayed onto those crops, and inadvertently whoever eats food that has been genetically engineered ends up ingesting some of that glyphosate. But along with that, because glyphosate is water soluble, it has the ability to go anywhere in the environment. So once it gets sprayed onto a field of crops, it can also go down into the soil, into the water system. It can also be pulled up into the atmosphere. So eventually the rain that comes down has some glyphosate in it. Glyphosate gets used on golf courses. So when you see a golf course that's nice and green, chances are it's been sprayed with Roundup. Now, in terms of human health, some of the concerns related to glyphosate has been that along with the rise in the use of glyphosate, we've also seen a rise in infertility, rise in autism, cancer rates, as well as autoimmune issues. Now, all of these have been researched and studied, and there are people who are looking at some of the areas where there's extensive use of Roundup and what's happening as a result. So one of the things I can say is farmers who use glyphosate have a higher rate of cancer than farmers who don't. There have also been several lawsuits against Monsanto about glyphosate and the use of Roundup. And all of those lawsuits have found in the favor of the plaintiffs. So Monsanto has literally been given millions and millions of dollars that they have to pay out to people who have been affected by glyphosate in their products. So these are all farmers or people who worked with Roundup and as a result ended up contracting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's actually a very, very serious issue, one that you don't want to ignore. So when it comes to the food supply, glyphosate has been found in all kinds of products, like things like breakfast cereal, wine, kids' snacks, as well as obviously all kinds of different produce. Now, what happens in the body is if you end up having food that is sprayed with glyphosate, it damages your gut microbiome. And your gut microbiome is actually really, really important when it comes to your overall health, because 65% of your immune system is housed in your gut. Now, along with the damage to the bacteria in your gut, there's also damage to the lining of your gut. So your gut has these little tight junctions that help keep what's in the gut and everything else out. But when glyphosate comes into your body, what happens is those junctions, known as gap junctions, they start to separate a bit. And then the contents of what's in your gut will start to leak out elsewhere. So that's what's known as leaky gut. That's not something that you want, because the toxins that are in your gut are meant to be expelled out of your body, not taken to other parts of your body. So what can you do about this? Because there are ways to be proactive. One of the best ways you can avoid getting glyphosate into your system, or at least drastically reducing it, is by eating organic. So eating as much organic food as possible. And the reason I say drastically reducing it is, let's say that there's a field of crops and those crops get rained on. Because of how glyphosate travels through the environment, chances are that some of those crops do have glyphosate on them, but because they haven't been sprayed with Roundup, they're not going to have as much glyphosate as, say, a field of crops that's been sprayed. So you'll drastically reduce your exposure to glyphosate. The other thing I would say is getting making sure that you have filtered water in your house so that you're keeping as many toxins out of your body as possible. And then the last thing I always recommend to clients is to start using Biomedic. So Biomedic has been proven to reduce and eliminate 74% of the glyphosate that's in your body, 74% of the glyphosate, and 75% bringing down the C-reactive protein reaction by 75% over a 6-week usage. Now, what Biomedic does is it helps support the good bacteria in your gut. It helps repair your gut lining. It brings down that C-reactive protein reaction, but most importantly, it's pulling out glyphosate, heavy metals, and other toxins out of your body. So once those toxins are out of your body can actually start to heal and function well. So definitely look at the link for Biomedic on my website. Email me or message me any questions you might have. If you think this video might help someone, definitely share it and subscribe to my newsletter. Get my ebook if you don't already have it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!